Well, good afternoon, folks. We got Gila Jed and we got Kabbalah Guru. Gila Jed is on the way to becoming a superstar. You guys will understand that. Her channel is going to be down below, but if you just put Gila Jed on YouTube, when you see that pretty face, click on it, subscribe to Guru. But before we get started, guys, down below in the pinned section, there's going to be a link to Rumble. I'm going to transition all you guys over, okay? Because my girlfriend here at YouTube is about to break up with me, so I want to break up with her first. I'm going to cut the umbilical cord, okay? So let's transition everybody over as quickly as possible. Everybody go click, hit the pause right now. Go down below, click the Rumble, subscribe, come back, watch the video. QFS1776.com, the Holy Grail, the Bible, to the QFS, XRP, XLM, Lobster, all of it. We're burning down the old system. We're not going back because it's going to be burnt down to the ground. Nothing to go back to. Our Telegram groups are down below as well. Don't forget to join our Telegram groups. Also, don't forget to share us on social media and like, unlike, subscribe, unsubscribe, do all of that stuff to throw the algorithms off. In case the good guys decide to take over YouTube and we're back in business, you know, we got that figured out too, right? So guys, there's so much going on. I know there's some ships supposedly headed to Taiwan. And you just said something, Gila, before we hit the record button, that the final operation will not be Taiwan. It's going to be Israel.
That's right.
Right? So tell us a little bit about that. Welcome to the call, guys.
Hey, Mal. Thanks so much for having us. I also want to start off by saying thank you for introducing me to Guru. You made that connection. And we're like best friends now, right, Guru?
Absolutely.
We became best friends. We're on the same book, on the same page, the same line, and the same word. We're exactly in the same spot. And we talk at least once a day, and we just compare notes. And it really it was a great connection you made. So thank you for that, Mal.
Absolutely. So what do you think is going to happen in Israel? Tell us your thoughts.
So I think that's where we're going to see, you know, the miracle, because there's this question mark. None of us knows how God is going to reveal himself as the master of this whole plan. So I think it's going to go down in Israel somehow. God is going to have the big, what do we call it, Guru?
The transition, the transformation, the great awakening,
like the Red Sea moment. What's his name? Juan O'Sullivan called it that. The Red Sea moment, where it's like undeniably God showing himself, and the whole world is going to know that it was God who is saving us, who has saved us already. So it's got to happen. And Jerusalem is like the God's home on earth. So
this will be the final battle, the final Armageddon battle, except Armageddon doesn't mean that we're all going to die. Armageddon means that some people are going to go away because they're just too stupid. You know what I mean? A little too stupid. And so they got to go. They got to get the hell off the planet, or too evil, and they got to get off the planet. They have a problem with that. So they're going to go, we're going to say, we're going to create 1,000 years of peace through Gesara and Nesara. Guru knows a lot about Gesara and Nesara, don't you?
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing program. I mean, I just got an email from one of my subscribers that said they did a fact checking at USA Today or something, and I'm like, I don't trust the fact checkers. I don't trust their idea of it. It makes perfect sense. It's organic sense. It doesn't have to be proved. I mean, that's kind of like a 3D level of looking at looking at the world, where everything has to be proved. Prove it to me. It just makes sense. No wars, no debt, no Fed, you know, judges. I mean, the legal system, a legal system that actually works. This is a profound thought. I mean, we didn't know all this until a couple of years ago, until the whole 17 thing happened. But apparently the whole legal system is based on something called common law. And, you know, I know myself, I mean, I'm in a lawsuit now against the Department of Education because they terminated my position. But you can be sure that if you go to the courts, you're not going to get, you can be sure that you can't be sure. You don't know what's going to go down when you go to court, because it makes no sense. So they're going to retrain the judges. They're going to get rid of the Fed and the IRS. I mean, it's, you know, whether or not you can prove that somebody is behind this, that it's some kind of legal thing, doesn't really matter. It makes sense. It has to happen. That's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no question. I mean, there's nobody home. You guys know. I mean, you just said the IRS is going away. The IRS has been away. Okay, nobody's home. You know, I was on with XRP Army 1.0. We finally reached them, right? And we're trying to talk some sense into those guys. And I love these guys. I mean, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Chip and Jeff. I love a lot of these guys. The Bearable Bull, you know, Crypto Eddie from Japan, and so on. But the reality is, we're in a different movie theater than these guys, and we're looking at a very, very different movie. We don't believe Klaus Schwab is Klaus Schwab. We don't believe that Biden is Biden. We don't believe Pelosi is Pelosi. We're in a movie, and the movie's basically saying what? That these people are not who you think they are.
That's right.
And it's very easy to pull over the wool over people's eye who don't want to believe, because the truth is so out there. It's so fantastical that no people just literally shut down. They go into cognitive dissonance and they literally shut it down, and they don't want to know. Oh, it's not on Fox. It's not on CNN. Really? Come on, guys. The things that are happening right now, if you come into a movie theater and just have an open mind, not an open mind to where your mind falls out of your skull, but an open mind so that you understand what's going on. And we could literally pinpoint and show you little anomalies, like, you know, the earlobes are different. The lips are different. The guy used to be righty. Now he's lefty. Okay. Come on. You know what I mean? These are things that you can't just sweep underneath the rug and say, oh, doesn't exist. They do exist. You go down to Washington, D.C., and the Federal Reserve building is shut down. The IRS building is shut down. The Treasury, they just got all arrested, according to David Strait. Come on. Nancy Drew, what's his name? Richard, citizen journalist, almost got arrested for reporting on it. Those guys have incredible credibility with the people who follow them. They follow them. You know what I mean? Look, you go into the White House, there's aluminum foil on the windows. I think personally, there's such an overwhelming amount of tribunals going on that they can't handle it down in Castro territory, down in Cuba. They had to do it through the White House with aluminum foil on the window, security up the yin yang. Okay, and this guy is operating out of a studio, wherever this guy is. Correct,
You know,
guys?
I was there in person. I think it was for the March on Mandates with Bobby Kennedy, where he spoke on the Lincoln Memorial. Do you remember that? Okay, so I took a walk. It was freezing that day, and I walked all the way from the Lincoln Memorial to the White House. And it was, you can't get anywhere close to the White House, and there's a big white, opaque gate around it. And I asked one of the security guards, who looks like Secret Service, he's got the piece in his ear. And I'm like, what's that gate for? And he's like, oh, they're just redecorating the lawn.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Right, sure.
But
I'm like, oh, maybe that whole big, like, it's impenetrable, and they have little like holes like that you could put the barrel of a gun through, like little. That's all they have is like this big white fence with little gun holes. It looks like.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I saw it with my own eyes. I don't even need Nancy Drew. I saw.
Exactly. So you were there in the flesh to verify it for yourself. So anybody who really wants to verify it, $289.26 will get you a ticket from wherever you're at. You go there, go take a couple of pictures, become the next Nancy Drew. Okay. There's only two guys over there. Might need some competition.
I'll put the pictures up on my Telegram channel after
There you go. There you go. So what's your Telegram channel? This way people can follow you.
It's Gila Jed. It's just half my last name, GILAJED channel.
Perfect. Okay, there you go. And she's been there firsthand. So what's on the financial front? What's going on? I mean, we're in the final stages, I think, of manipulation. A lot of people are saying going to zero. I don't know if I believe that, but it could. I mean, we could be wrong. But there's definitely some serious manipulation going on. There's no question about that. But it gives a lot of people a chance to bite the apple, as my friend Darren likes to say over there in Oregon, for the last time. You know what I mean? If you haven't been able to accumulate your XRP, here's your chance. If you want to fill up your bags a little more, here's your chance,
Absolutely. I think that it's a grace period right now, this extension. I think it's like a divine grace period for people who are just waking up.
Absolutely. And Guru, how do they find you? Kabbalah Guru, right?
Yeah, I'm on Telegram and YouTube
Perfect. And they also hang out in our Telegram also,
and Rumble also.
and Rumble. Yeah, I got some money there, not a lot, maybe enough to put some gas in my dune buggy and go for like a 100-mile ride. But my wife says I got $102.26, whatever. And my wife says you're only entitled to half of that. So what are you talking about? Is that true, Guru?
I don't know. I mean, I've been on Rumble for probably like 2 years now. I've accumulated a massive like $11. I mean, I'm like, wow, what am I going to do with this? But yeah, I think we're at the point in human history where you can't look at things in terms of like facts or information. Everything really has to be an intuitive understanding. The narrative, it's up to each of us to develop a narrative that makes sense to us. That's why I really value Gila so much, because we're able to piece together a narrative that makes sense from the point of view of a Jewish person, because our narrative is slightly different, because we follow the Torah, but nothing, if you look at everything separately, it does not make sense. It really requires an intuitive an intuitive investigation. And I really think that when the White Hats, when 17 tells us you have to do your own research, that a lot of this is probably because it's up to each of us to really design our own narrative. I mean, everyone has a slightly different narrative. And that's the beauty of, I mean, in Yiddish, they call God the Eibishter, the conductor. Like the conductor, a conductor conducts on a whole the different instruments, and each one of us plays a slightly different tune, and that will all blend together. But it's a time, I believe, to really get out of your intellect, to get out of the fear space, and to really try to figure out, does this make sense? And that's why it's like, for me, like having Gila's channel is like, it's a godsend, because there are two of us. So if you're creating a reality, you can't it's very hard to create a reality with one point. It's like in geometry, a point is a point, 2 points is a line, 3 points you can make a two-dimensional shape, and with 4 points you can make a three-dimensional object. So I'm constantly like gnashing my teeth over the fact that there are not a lot of religious Jewish rabbis that are really making much noise. I mean, they're kind of staying in their comfort zone. They're not veering out into the real world. And I think right now we're looking at a real vegetable soup of ideas, and that everyone needs to come out of their little shell and try to make sense of this humongous transformation that's taking place on the planet.
Yeah, we got to be like those. You ever watch that little clip of the guy? I'm tired and I'm not taking it anymore. And then you got all these people going to the window. I'm tired and I'm not taking it anymore. So we are the guys that are going to recruit the guys that's going to say, I'm tired and I'm not taking it anymore. But it takes a little testosterone. God doesn't want wimps.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we need men. That brings me to a good point where both of you are examples for the world of men who are in their divine purpose. I told you this, Mel, when I was at your house. I'm like, it's very rare that you find a man who has found his divine purpose and dedicated all his time to his divine purpose. So both of you, I'd like kudos to you guys for stepping up for humanity. Yeah.
Well, we got to all do it together. It's like, hey, we try to recruit talent. If they want to do it, if they see themselves as what we are trying to tell them they are, and they see themselves in the same light that we're seeing it, and they step up, fine. But if they don't, you got to go to the next person. Well, if we recruit enough people,
Yeah. Can I share
sure.
part of your reading, your soul reading for a second that you told me about? Is that
Sure,
okay with you?
absolutely, yes.
So Mel had a soul reading, his Akashic records, right, Mel? And she said that in many past lives, you've been a healer and you were actually a very high level shaman. How do you say that word?
Yes.
Shaman?
Shaman, yes.
Shaman. And you were kind of got sick of healing everybody. And you were at the point where you said everybody needs to learn how to heal themselves. And that fits in perfectly with you constantly encouraging other people to start their own thing. Like you don't even want the responsibility of carrying the hurt anymore. You want every single person to step up and step into their own power, which is, makes perfect sense. That reading makes perfect sense that you were like the head. What's that called in like the Italian community? Like you were the
Godfather.
Godfather. I had enough. You had enough. I want to rest. And you guys, each of you. So, and you're also from the Syrian star system,
Yes.
which is boss also. You're a boss. And one time Guru says to me, he's a holy soul who incarnated into a gangster body.
Yeah, well, we came from somewhere else. I've always felt that something was different about me. I didn't feel that this was the original planet that I was born on. So
that's so interesting.
And Melanie, when I met Melanie, I said, okay, let's give this a shot. And she turned out to be so professional. She's amazing.
She's wonderful. She's so wonderful. I also had a reading with her. And it turns out I'm Arcturian, which made perfect sense to me also.
We're not from here. We were sent here. We were sent here to assist in this time to fix your shit.
Well, we volunteered. I like to look at it as we volunteered. And if I had to guess, I think Guru is Pleiadian because Pleiadians always make me laugh and Guru always makes me laugh.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder where you're from. We should do an Akashic reading for Guru.
Yeah. I put money on Pleiadian for him.
Maybe possible.
Yeah.
It's funny. She also said that I had a very secret extramarital affair in one of my lives when I was on the Syrian star system, and I was a high-level politician, and we were so good at keeping it under wraps. And then when I told my wife, she goes, you're one of those, huh? I said, yeah. I said, honey, what if you were the mistress in that past life and you came here and I came back here to come get you, And
you made it right. So, you made it kosher this time. It's kosher.
So, listen, I believe in all this stuff. We live in, they've poisoned us. They've done all things to us so that we cannot see the truth. But now we're rising and we're getting to the fourth density, the fifth density. We're stepping out of the 3D matrix. We've had it. We know things are not what they're supposed to be. We know you've been lying to us. We know you've been poisoning us. Now we're going to come out of the poisoning. We're going to clean our minds and we're going to go forward and we're going to take over humanity. For a lot of people, like I said, it's going to be 1,000 years of peace. I believe in Nesara, Gesara. There was a gentleman that was on Nino Rodriguez's show. And I was really up to the 20-minute mark. It was good. All of a sudden he gets into Gesara and Nesara. He goes, no. It's only what's in the Bible. You mean to tell me that God only influenced people to write about the Bible and there was no other influence on Gesara and Nesara? No, I don't believe that. I believe that there's a superpower. He influenced people to do other things as well. It's not just one-dimensional, it's multi-dimensional. Don't you agree?
Well, I said to you last night, can I jump in, Guru?
Sure.
Yeah, please.
That I think, first of all, it happens in our religion also that a lot of people haven't been able to merge the story of our Mashiach story with current events on the ground. There's also a prophecy, I was telling you in our Zoom last night, Mel, or Wednesday night, that money in the times of the Messiah is going to go intangible. It's going to go from tangible to intangible. It's in the Talmud. So to say, I know Bo is his name, Bo Polney was saying that it's God's money is gold and silver that we can hold. But yet the Talmud is not just Old Testament, it's the alive oral Torah that we've been passing down for generations, father to son, father to son. And that's the one that tells us that money is going to go intangible.
Well, when he got to the XRP and the Bitcoin part, you understood that he was not very well versed.
Right,
We'll,
right, right.
we'll leave it just at that.
Well, I
But
had a great insight from Emily. I'm sorry I'm dominating the
no,
conversation.
no, please.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Please.
I have so much to say. Emily wrote something on her chat. Emily from QSI, who I love. I have a girl crush on her. She was saying how us in this like little club right here are a niche and a niche and a niche and a niche and a niche, because to be where we are, you had to be a truther, number one. Then you had to be a Trumper, and then you had to be a Q follower, and then you had to be a Nesara follower and a QFS follower. I hope I'm not leaving any out, but you also have to be somebody with a big heart who wants to save humanity. Like, she made a whole checklist of different boxes you have to check to be where the three of us are actually sitting right now. So that, let's say the Army 1.0, they're missing a bunch of those boxes. So they're not where we are. So it's like Emily said, it's like a very specific niche that we're in.
Yeah. And guys, I'm going to introduce you. This is Army 2.0 on steroids. Okay. I'm going to build an army. You guys don't want to come. That's fine. We're not mad at you. Sometimes you can't see it. Right.
This is XRP 5D XRP as opposed to 3D XRP.
5-dimensional. Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we'll build our own army. You're going to be so comfortable, Gila, and you're going to have your 20, 30, 40,000 people following you. I know, I could see it happening already. Then you're going to have your Rumble channel. Hopefully YouTube gets taken over by the right people that wants to do the right stuff. You know what I mean? And then we'll just, keep building and building and building people that understand the movie, the 17 movie. Okay.
Yep.
I think it's critical. I just want to jump in for a second.
Sure.
It's critical that we understand that we are building a reality, that we are not, it's not just that we're leaving a destructive culture. I mean, it is unbelievably destructive what they've done to us. It's a nightmare. But we are building, I mean, it says in Jewish tradition that they're going to be 6,000 years, like 6 days of the week. And then the seventh day is going to be Shabbos. So even on the Jewish calendar, we're coming to the end of the 6,000 year period, where I think 5,782, we're a couple hundred years away from the 6,000 year, which is supposed to be the era of Mashiach. So we're coming into Shabbos, we're coming into the Great Awakening. Nothing can stop this. Nothing can stop what's coming. I mean, they did all these things with the looking glass, but I think it's important, that everyone has to we really have to rise up. That everyone has to really take responsibility. Like Gila was saying, that I consider myself lucky that I lost my job. I mean, but that's what Hashem knew, that, if he, I've been like kind of weaving in and out of the job for years, but Hashem knew that he had to just cut me loose so I could really focus on my YouTube channel and developing a synthesis between Judaism and all the information that's coming out. Yeah. And, the Jewish community is they're very reluctant to come out and play. I feel like a little kid. I'm in a sandbox now. I mean, I have my friend Gila, I have you, Mel, I have my channel, I have a Kabbalah Guru family, and we play twice a day. We have meetings and we just check in with each other. But the thing is that we have to just keep moving forward, and we have to really see the future. I mean, I say that Torah is like the past, but it's a blueprint for the future. And all these, all the revelations about the extraterrestrial things and all these other things, and, what's going on the ground with Taiwan and the biological weapons facilities, all these things, I mean, are, they're definitely happening, but this is a huge story. And I think that it requires that everyone really, like kind of Gila was saying, that everyone find their divine purpose and really resonate with their own story. Like, it's not okay to take, you can't take my story, you can't take Gila's story, you can't take Mel's story. We all have our own story, and we all need to resonate with that kind of love energy and that kind of inclusion. nothing can stop that. And that's what the enemy is so, the AI enemy. I mean, they're so bent on, controlling others and, controlling your mind and controlling what you eat and controlling what you breathe. And I mean, every aspect of our life has been controlled by these insane beings. So I'm just saying that I think it's going to be amazing. And I think, we just have to keep going. We just have to keep going forward. And I'm just, I just kudos to you guys, man. I mean, kudos to Gila, kudos to Mel. I mean, Mel contacted me and said, you want to do an interview? I mean, I'm like, I've been at her. I have 16,000 subscribers. Nobody's ever, you're the only person that's ever called me up and said, what we want to know what you're thinking,
I'm not judgmental. I don't care about your religion. I don't care about your color. I don't care what you believe in. I don't care that you don't eat pork, and I don't care if you like whether I eat beef, you know what I mean, or kosher or non-kosher. It doesn't matter. We're all red-blooded Americans, and we got to stick together if we're going to make this thing happen. What I love about you, Guru, is the fact that I think, because I watch you, okay, and I think you figured out a way where you could say a lot with saying a little and staying under the radar. I don't think you're going to get shut down. I don't think you have any strikes on this channel, do you?
Please God, no, not yet. Thank God. I was taken down twice already. So I mean, but I think we're developing a network. I mean, Gila's channel is so important to me. I mean, it's really more as important as my own channel. And I mean, and people are constantly reaching out saying like, Gila's wonderful, she's magnificent, but she also offers a female perspective on this, that I can't do it, but it's just amazing. I think we're really building, like you said, the XRP Army 202 or whatever it is,
2.0.
2.0. I mean, we're building an army. We're building a force that cannot be stopped, a positive energy. It's not just that we're running away from evil. We're running to do good. We want, like the whole lobster thing, man. I mean, I want to maybe just turn this conversation a little bit, just to know where you guys are holding. I mean, I think lobster is phenomenal. Somebody was saying to me, one of my friends on my channel said, it's like playing a game. It's like, it's creative. It's beautiful. It's like, it's not like investing in stocks. Stocks is like kind of cold and, you're looking at trends. Lobster is colorful and user-friendly, and I don't know when it's gonna, kick in terms of when the assets are really gonna turn over. And the when question is, like when I design my thumbnails, when I design my titles, I know that if I say something about when, everyone, I'm gonna get a lot more hits. Everybody wants to know when, but that's not really the question. The question is not when. It's like, it's not when for at the outside. It's when for me on the inside. It's when am I going to say, Gesara is here. It makes sense. I mean, judges, courts where you have no justice. And now you're seeing it, like in my court case, they already took down 2 or 3 judges. They said, oh, you have stock in these drug companies? How can you give us an honest ruling here? And they're starting. So the white hats have positioned themselves so brilliantly behind the scenes. They have like little trip wires. I mean, the traps that they set are unbelievable, man. I mean, I saw a mouse this morning, man. I'm very good at, I don't see many mice, but I had a very brazen mice. So I immediately like went into action. I mean, I'm a master trapper. I'm a, tripwire man myself, but these guys, man, the white hats, it's like God. How does God stay invisible?
That's so good, Guru.
Right?
That's so good. Yeah.
And the white hats are doing that. They're invisible. We don't see
right
them.
Under God. They're right. Here's God. Here's the white hats. But can I interject?
Please.
So I was listening today to my new favorite. It's amazing how when you need a new teacher, they show up. So this YouTube guy shows up in my feed. Ishmael Perez. Ishmael, you call me by the Hebrew.
I love him.
No, this guy is chock full of fresh information. And he was
Yes.
saying today he gave me a new perspective because he said he actually is in touch with members of the Galactic Federation. He's a starseed that actually knows how did you watch Mel? Did you watch him? Okay, so today I watched his interview with Janine, Tarot by Janine, and she asked him the perfect questions. She asked him about Mr. T, and like she really nailed her with the questions. But what I took away was he said the war has already been won. We're just watching. That's what they mean. Watch the movie, because in the galactic realms, the light has won. We're just at the bottom of the chain of command, I guess, and it has to play out here last, which is why I think Jerusalem is last, because Jerusalem is going to be where God eventually has his home in the new temple. So that's why I think all the galaxies are watching this game play out to see God finally descend into his home in the third temple in Jerusalem. But he said that the swamp is already 3/4 taken out, 3/4 of the way taken out.
Yeah. The last quarter will be Israel. We should buy front row seats.
Oh, we should.
Right?
Maybe the lobster will come through just in time.
I'll eat some matzo balls with you guys. I have no problem with matzo balls. Trust me.
You told me you want chicken soup or matzo ball. Oh, Guru told me that, actually. Who told me you want matzo? It's one of you guys told me you like matzo balls.
Absolutely.
We can have a safe house in Jerusalem, in Jerusalem.
I know
mean,
exactly. You know where I want to be in Jerusalem? You see this man behind me? Do you know who that is, Guru?
I don't. He looks familiar.
This is Rev Cook. I'm going to give him a shout out.
Ah,
This is Rev Cook, and he saw a vision. He was one of the first rabbis who saw to see the world in terms of universal acceptance and love of all people, Jews, non-Jews. He loved everybody. So there's a street in Jerusalem named for him, and that's where that's our front row seat, Mel, Rev Cook Street.
Okay. We got to make it happen, guys. You know, right now, right now I tell everybody, don't pay attention to dates. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Okay. Just make money, positive cash flow, keep making money. We give you all the opportunities because we want you guys to stay in positive cash flow. We got great opportunity. Well, I just did an interview with the CEO of Wombat, which this is for people who like to be outdoors and talking to people face to face, old fashioned, kneecap to kneecap, eyeball to eyeball. Anybody who goes knocking on 20 businesses a day, you watch a 10-minute video of how your business could double and triple, and you give them the software for free, and then you try to take it away, and their business is already, doubled. You're not going to be able to take the software away. They're going to want to give you the $300 a month that you get to keep 100% of the money. We did an interview with him that's sitting on my desktop. I'm looking for the right time to upload it. What an incredible interview, right? So we got other opportunities. We got all kinds of things, right? Because we want you guys to stay in positive cash flow and don't complain about not having enough XRP. We're giving you the opportunity. See, God instructed us to come down, talk to you guys about an opportunity to make money so you could buy more XRP and relax, forget about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Forget about it. Yep.
When it comes, it comes. It's going to come. It could be 6 months. It could be 2 months. It could be 18 months. It's going to come. The bad guys are losing. We all know that.
Mel, once I understood how good this movie is, once this guy Ishmael Perez explained to me that it's won already, I kind of want to watch it slowly now. Like the rush left me. Like I don't need a date. I just want to enjoy. I don't want to miss a moment because this movie is so epic. Like,
well, I got 9 people chasing him right now. 9, including my producer Susanna, who's doing a fabulous job.
Oh, she's going after Perez.
Oh, we're going at we got heat-seeking missiles after this guy. We're gonna get him. Okay. You bet, if I was a horse, I would ask you to bet on me. Okay. We're gonna get him.
I bet on you every time.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's exciting stuff. I mean, where we're just going through life. Yeah, we're living through a new world order. Yes, everything is not what it seems. We're having fun, and we got all kinds of flavored popcorn. Come in the movie theater. QFS XRP, right? QFS 1776.com. We'll teach you everything. You got to have the patience.
Mel, I had to drive down to Baltimore. I think it was maybe March, and it was 10 hours in the car on a Sunday. And I listened to your whole, what do you call it? The whole, not
The QFS,
you say come into the library. It's not a library. You call it what do you always
The
call
movie
it?
theater.
And
Come
also
into my
something
movie
else.
theater.
You have it. what's
Okay,
that word?
we'll come to you. We'll come to you.
So I listened to, like, you have how many in the manual? I listened
Oh,
to
the
whole
manual. Yeah,
manual
the Quantum
Yeah.
Financial Systems Manual.
Till I was losing my mind in the car, but I listened to them back to back to back to back, and I got a solid background from you, from your manual. So I recommend it to everybody. If you have a long car ride, or if you have time, just bang it out, because you will
Yeah.
get the foundation that you need for what's going on right now to join this niche of people who get what's the financial aspect of this awakening, because you will reap tremendous benefits when the old system goes from fiat to quantum. You can turn, I think, a few hundred into a few million.
Absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
all these videos, like I always say, they exist, but they're scattered all over the internet. You got to go find them and then say, okay, this is very basic. Let's put this one here. Okay, this can go here. And then you just play around with it until you got a sort of like a sequential order that's elementary in nature, that the average person with average, 99.9 IQ can understand. And that's
You
what
put
we've
it
done.
together? Who put it together, Mel? You put that together?
Amber and I, both of us, we
Brilliant.
spent
It's brilliant.
thousands of man hours.
No, it's perfect. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
maybe I can I just want to put in a word for lobster, just
Sure.
to explain like what I think it is, because I don't think people, I'm out in these thought streams, right? I'm a thought person. I mean, that's my whole thing is thinking and trying to experiment with different narratives. I don't think people really understand what lobster is. So I'm just gonna say it really. I'm gonna try to summarize it, and Gila and Mel, you can maybe help me embellish it a bit.
Sure.
But people are coming to me saying, I got scammed because whatever. I'm not going to go into it, but they said lobster's a scam. Lobster's a scam. It's to say that is and again, I have no vested interest in lobster. I don't get anything by pushing it. But let me just explain to anybody who doesn't understand what it is. Lobster is very, very future oriented. It's not for somebody who looks at things like in a Fox News kind of way. What lobster is saying, what the narrative behind lobster is, that the fiat, the Fed, the oil-backed currency, the United States currency, the world currency, which is talk about a scam. The world currency is an utter and complete scam, just like the legal system, just like the educational system, just like the medical system. These are scams. I mean, so what lobster is saying, to me, this is my mind, again, you guys can correct me. They're saying that and it's not if, it's when. I mean, and I've been aware of this, I've been listening to the X22 report I always say it like that because I don't want to have you any troubles, but I've been listening to this for a couple of years, and they said gold brings down the Fed. The Fed is a private institution. It is a lie. It is supported by the guys who put these funky looking triangles on our dollar bills with eyeballs in them. And you want to talk about a conspiracy, man. I mean, hello. But what lobster says is that when the system, and it's not if, when the system comes crashing down, and it will, it has to, if you look at it with any kind of thought stream, if you look at things outside of their own box, you have to put the pieces of the puzzle together, that it is coming down, and it is crashing. It will crash, whether it's next week, whether it's Tuesday, or whether it's 5 years from now. It doesn't matter. It is toast. Now, when that happens, all the assets, all the companies, like I bought Costco, I bought BlackRock, I bought Starlink, I bought Tesla. when the crash happens, all these institutions, all these companies, all these ways of making, of transacting business, of transacting communications on the planet are going to have to be put on another platform. So Lobster is that one of those platforms. They're not trading in fiat, they're trading in stellar lumens. And if you want to talk about a hot item, I mean, XRP is for sure, the greatest thing since sliced bread. But Jeb, is it Jeb? Jeb,
Yep.
after he created XRP, he went and created XLM. It's on a higher level. They don't have a lawsuit against them. Now, they are saying that when this system crashes, and again, it's when it crashes, that all these companies, all these assets, BlackRock owns the world. BlackRock and Vanguard own the world. Everything you put in your hair, everything you put in your mouth, everything every car, they own everything. When they go down, and they have to go down, what's going to happen to all these assets? What's going to happen to all these moving parts? They have to go onto another kind of platform. And that's what Lobster is. Lobster does not trade in fiat currency. It trades in stellar lumens. You can trade your stellar lumens for Costco, for China gold, or whatever. I mean, I'm buying new assets every day. Every day I trade a few coins, where sometimes I'm trading 14 cents for 1 million shares in BlackRock. I mean, 1 million shares. So when this happens, man, and this is the wealth transfer, and this is an opportunity for guys like you and I don't have millions of dollars. I don't even have a paycheck anymore. I get a little money from YouTube now, but I can take 14 cents. I can take $100. I can take, $20 and turn it into potentially billions when the switch happens. I'm ready. Is this way in the future? I don't know. I don't know when, but I'm telling you, it's an opportunity to, to transfer what do they call it? Intergenerational wealth, man. I mean, XRP and XLM are also opportunities for generational wealth, but I think Lobster's even on a higher level, because you are diversifying an asset into, I have hundreds of different assets. I have gold mines in China. I have gold mines in Turkey. I have platinum mines and who knows where. I bought everything that Whiplash comes out with. Is it a scam? Really? I mean, let's look at fiat. Is fiat a scam? Yeah, it's a scam. It's a scam. There's no question about it. Is Lobster a scam? I don't think so. I believe it's so far in the future that, I don't know. I love it. It's a playground, man. And that's the way life should be. We are going to be like children. We are coming into an age when we are going to rediscover. I mean, Gila and I always talk about, we talk to each other like we're 8-year-old kids. We're just full of life. We're full of innocence. We're full of discovery. And that's where we're going to be holding as a culture, because life is fun. And, when you're investing on Lobster, it's fun.
I'll tell you, because the Cabal put us, each of us, in a financial prison. All of us. I don't care who you are, where you live. Every single person needs to be liberated from their financial prison that the Cabal put them in. And we liberate ourselves with money. The same way we were put in jail, we let ourselves out of jail. I hand the key whenever I help someone start their own Lobster wallet. I feel like, here's the key, let yourself out, run. And I say the same thing, Guru. I say that Lobster is an XLM playground, because you get a big pile of XLM for $100. You get how many XLM? You get thousands of XLM. And then you can start choosing these assets. And the guidance that Emily and Whiplash and all these people are giving is, look at the list, see what calls you. It's an intuition guided system. If that asset looks good, you like the way that logo looks, whatever it is, you buy it. You go with your gut. You learn to develop your gut and your own intuition. And my sister Miriam, I'll give her a shout out. Hey, Mir. She said, there's a popular slogan that says faith over fear. She said, even better, we should make the t-shirt that says intuition over proof. Because anytime I'm in a conversation with somebody and they say, oh, where's the proof? I'm like, okay, conversation over. Because there's no proof in this game. There is no proof. This is, God is giving us a time right now to up our intuition game. We all were born with intuition. And it's the time right now to really bring that intuition online.
Yeah, Protocol 19 is coming.
Yes.
And the lobster, basically, right now, it's an opportunity for people to follow guides like Quantum Brownie and Emily and Whiplash, and choose whoever has experience. And we got
Right.
some upcoming guys like Bon Crypt, who is becoming a personal friend of mine from over there in Gibraltar. We got a bunch of guys who are becoming level, first grade level, second grade level teachers, coaches. Okay, Amy Seaver is another one. Her friend that she just interviewed, which I want to interview, is another one. These are first, second grade. They take you by the hand very slowly, and it gives us an option to do what? It gives us an option to take and carve up. America and the world can take and carve up BlackRock and Vanguard and take a little piece for yourself and become fabulously wealthy right now.
And it's
Okay.
the best F you to them, F you to them.
Yeah, and the guys that have made the triangles with the eyeballs in it, they sent me and Kabbalah Guru to come and gouge your eyes out.
Mel, I learned from your manual. I listened to the G&D code, and I was screaming in the car by myself when he was talking about how they've liberated the gold under the Vatican, 150 miles worth of gold all the way to Jerusalem, from Rome to Jerusalem. And the way I look at lobster is like this. They have the patriots, the white hats, the good guys have all of this money from all the evil corporations that have been, just deconstructed, and all the gold that they don't know what to do with it. They want to give it to us, but they have to have a funnel. I think of the word funnel. The lobster wallet is a funnel where they just are funneling in this money for anybody who can hear this conversation, can hear us.
I'm going to make you guys laugh. I was interviewing Rita Dickinson, which is one incredible interview. I don't know if it's going to get released tonight or tomorrow. I got so much content coming. I got to slow it down because I got too much, and then nobody's going to watch anything. Right? Rita said to go back and watch when Donald Trump comes down the escalator to announce that he's going to run for president. What's behind him is a sign that says currency exchange. Did you know that?
No.
I didn't either. I said, I got to go back and watch the damn video now,
Oh my God, there's so many, and that's what
There's
this
so
is
many
all about.
little symbolism and little hints and little tidbits and little breadcrumbs.
How about in the inauguration when he hands over control to the military, when the military turns around and takes,
when they're moving, that all is very symbolic of something. Absolutely. 100%. Yes.
Yep. We're going to go back on the replay and watch all of this back and really enjoy it.
That's why when I went back a few months ago and I started to rewatch all the bonfire guy videos, the lobster's right in there.
How so?
Because when Trump goes and puts the files down on the table and he says, we understand what you did with the little guys underground.
Yeah.
Now you have to capitulate and sell your shit in the lobster. And we get to own their ass.
For pennies.
For pennies on the dollar. Yeah, if you lose, I understand you could buy billions of assets for like 2 or 3 XLM in many cases. So if you lose 2 or 3 XLM, you lost a whopping 30 cents.
Right.
You can't even buy bubble gum for that.
Right. You can't make a wrong choice because you're betting with pennies. So, okay, you bought the wrong asset. You bought by mistake a scam. Okay. It happens.
30 cents gone.
I want to say one other thing, that a lot of the patriots are waiting for the RV. They're passively waiting for, the dongs to be revalued and the Zim bonds and they're just like, when is it going to happen? Lobster is proactive.
That's
You're
right.
you're moving ahead. And that's the whole, don't sit back and wait for it to happen. That's not productive. That's like being, I always say, like being like Lot's wife. It's like you're looking over your shoulder, you're saying, oh, what's going down there? You know, it's like you turn into a pillar of salt. That's what happens to you. You want to keep going forward. And lobster is like, invest, man, have fun. It's so much fun. I invest 14 cents or 7 cents and I buy millions of shares of BlackRock. I mean, how much fun is that? Even if it
You know
doesn't.
what? Guru, also to your point, is it evolves every day. Whiplash is putting out new domains.
Right.
The BRICS nations became BRICS with
Right.
Turkey at the end.
Right.
So we get to
Right.
see how the current events in the world are showing up in lobster assets in real time. Every day there's new lobster assets showing up that's speaking to world events in real time. So that's a very cool aspect. BRICS T.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, it is amazing. I mean, like I bought some assets from Singapore today or yesterday. I mean, I think Singapore, I mean, what I only know from Singapore, I went camping with some rabbis and they spent some time in Singapore, but we spent a lot of time together in the woods and they told me all about it. It's just like, it's such a, like a meeting place, like a place where all different cultures come together and do business. I mean, that is electrifying to be able to invest in that kind of a, anyway, I just think that everyone really, it's like, come out and play, man. Come out and be like you and I, we're like little kids, man. We're like, oh yeah, I did this today, I did that. It's like, life is fun, man.
I love it.
Amber also, me and Amber, we love it. I sat with Amber, I was teaching her little tricks and she was teaching me. And whenever I get a new asset, I like to telegram it over to Amber. I love Amber so much.
Oh, she's amazing. My wife is one of a kind. Absolutely.
I know. How did you know she was so good? How'd you know, Mel?
She wasn't always so good. I had to sort of like mold her. I had to train her, and just.
I think it was the other way
around. No, really, she was like, we got into business together. We met online, whatever, and we got into business together. And she's like, okay, this guy said he was going to pay me, and he paid me. He's good looking. He's a man of his word. He's smart. He knows how to build a business. And he pays, and I paid her several times, right? I paid her a lot more than what she was making in Malaysia. So the reality is, we started at some point. She said, "Hey, you got to make a decision here, kiddo. It's like, we're talking for 3.5 years. One day she said, the only thing I could say is ticket. In other words, send me a ticket. I want to be with you." So I sent her a ticket, and that's how it all started. But when she got here, it's like, okay, I'm a very good judge of character. I feel out people and I know where their strengths and where their weaknesses are. So, you can't shove things down people's throat because they will literally short circuit. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody has a tolerance point. So I knew that I could just spoon feed her something and walk away. And then when she mastered that, I'd speak. Today, she's like, an administration, personnel on steroids. Like if she went to go work, if she went to go work for like a high-powered CEO Fortune 500 company, she would probably be able to get $125,000 a year salary out of the gate immediately based on what she's learned. But that happened over 10 years. She went to the University of Mel. You know what I mean? This is the kind of stuff you don't learn in school, right? The real stuff. So this has been a 10-year. She's like, when do I get to graduate? I said, never. We're constantly learning. Yeah.
Amber also helped me a lot on using the SDX system. I mean, it takes a little. It doesn't really take a lot. It's so much easier than trading stocks because it's like interactive. But you can trace down assets. You can figure out which ones are kosher, which ones are not. I mean, it's just like I don't like to play like. In my community, a lot of times on Shabbos, I mean, Gila will probably verify this, but people like to sit around and play board games. I can't get behind it, but I can get behind a real game where you're playing with real assets. You're playing with a real, I don't like imaginary games. I like real games. And the Lobster's like a real game where I'm having fun, and you can make, I think, I don't know. I mean,
I think
don't
you
know.
could turn $5 into 5 million, and that's conservative.
Absolutely, Mel. And you know what starts to happen? All those dreams that you dreamed as a little kid and through your teenage years and your whole life, all of us have like a bucket list of dreams that suddenly become, like, oh my God, I could really do that and that and that and go here and do this. So as you're buying the assets, you're actually calling it in from the quantum field because your dreams are getting reactivated. They're getting reactivated. Mel, I wanted to ask you, so you remember you said I could ask you a few questions as if I'm interviewing you?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so I came up with a question that I would want to know. And you can answer this too, Guru, if you want to. So I have 3 people. If you could have dinner with one of these 3 people, who would it be and why? Okay, so number 1, Trump. Number 2, JFK Jr. Number 3, Elvis. Who do you pick and why them?
Oh, wow. That's a tough one because I love Elvis. That's a tough one.
You can only pick one.
I'd have to say Trump because he's here and we could smell him, touch him, feel him. And there's no really guarantee that Elvis is still alive. And that would be like gambling. So I don't like to gamble too much. I would go for the sure shot, go for Trump. And I could pick his brain about entrepreneurship, which is what I love.
Good answer. How about you, Guru?
I'm just assuming that Elvis is probably still alive in some sense, but I love the state of Tennessee. I mean, I love Memphis. I love Nashville. I love Chattanooga. I love Knoxville. Whenever I get a chance to run away from New York, which has been, I did it, I think twice in my life. I would run away for a couple of years. I always go to Tennessee. So I actually, when I first went to Tennessee, I think I met Elvis's bass player or something. But anyway, I would definitely pick Elvis. I know they're saying he has a Jewish mother, and also I also think Memphis is like one of the coolest places on the planet. I mean, I've never been anywhere except, You're a
musician, so it makes sense. You're a musician.
Yeah, I love Nashville. I love Memphis, but I would like to see.
So then that leaves JFK Jr. for me. I'll take him. No problem.
Yeah. So anyway, just to give you an idea, if you would have invested $5 at 0.0008 of a penny when Bitcoin came off the shelf the first day, 3 zeros and an 8 of a penny. That means for $5, you would buy 6,250 Bitcoins for $5. So don't tell me you can't make millions of dollars with $5 because this game is evolving and getting better, not worse. There's going to be, reality is, let's take the browser business, okay? There was a company called Netscape. Remember Netscape?
Yes.
It was a browser. Where is Netscape today? In 2 years, we'll be saying the same thing about Bitcoin. It will be gone, okay?
Right,
but,
there's always the progenitor. There's always the thing that came first.
Yeah, but you could have become fabulously wealthy with 6,250 Bitcoins today, even at today's price.
So imagine investing in 1,000 different assets.
Mhm.
Like if 10 of them, if 5 of them, if 2 of them came into fruition, you'd be a zillionaire.
That's
Absolutely.
Right.
So, and it's amazing. I have to plug in. Yeah.
So what do you get when you mix up one Sicilian guy with 2 Jewish people? An explosive podcast.
This is a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do it again. We're going to make it a regular thing where we just do like a, bi-weekly thing and we'll make it happen. Absolutely.
I love you guys. I love both of you.
Namaste. Thank you guys.
Namaste.
We'll do it
Namaste.
again. Bye-bye.
Okay, God bless.